Well, without further ado, this is going to be game 2, ladies and gentlemen. Grand Finals, Team SMG versus Todak.
Now this is going to be an interesting match. Immediately starting things off, forcing the flicker from Valenz. Already mid lane control there. The Cho and Farsa can be very strong towards the first 2 levels to make sure that Todak gain immediate mid lane priority and start influencing the rest of the map.
I don't think it's looking good here. I mean, as much as Smooth is going to be able to live this situation, he loses out that flicker, and Todak are instantly trying to be aggressive, right? Clear out that mid lane as soon as possible, look to influence the side lanes, which are their main win cons here. And especially for Todak, right? Diving into the backline isn't that hard. Lapu Lapu into Sasa on this Beatrix until Sasa decides to get that Winds of Nature. Momo will dominate the matchup.
What we're going to be seeing here from Todak is basically the way that they can split up their lineup. They can have Yumes as well as rival escort Chiku and Moon individually. Let Momo do his own thing. Team SMG though will need to be able to overcome this sort of situation, which is a very hard specialty of Todak.
I mean, I feel like this entire playoffs has been about just utilizing your resources as efficiently as possible rather than, you know, jamming it down somebody's throat, or at least one player's throat on the opposite side. We've seen Homeboys attempt to do this time and time again, and obviously there's a couple of exceptions from yesterday's games, but it's still the reoccurring trend of they get this early lead, they try to take like a bottom tier tower or something, but immediately, no, they're gonna back off. So immediately, we do see that teams who are able to utilize their resources better, if not spread it out a little bit more, generally get ahead.
And that is a factor that Team SMG will have to overcome. I think they use their resources a bit too quickly most of the time.
Yep, at the same time, the turtle being resetted right here as well. Todak, they're still thinking if they want to force the issue, considering that this is still a very Todak-sided turtle, but Valenz, he is going to try and force the fight. Yumes get caught in the cross as well. The better airstrike from Todak is going to zone the mouse. Boom, gets out with the split. He's going to get auto-attacked by Moon, but eventually will be picked off, and that's going to be 2 kills in the hands of Todak, with Smooth and Valenz being taken out. And now, with the turtle out for open, Stormie, he's thinking about going for the kill. He has the decimation, but he goes in at the wrong timing. The turtle shield will keep him alive, and they will survive.
Todak are just absolutely outplaying Team SMG right now. We already talked about this. SMG uses their resources too early, and all Todak has to do is be disciplined, wait for Valenz to engage, and you will realize that once the Kufra has used his abilities, they have nothing else to stop from Todak to just invading their backline and dismantling their positioning.
Now, previously, Team SMG has been kind of labeled as a team that's hyper-disciplined. You know, they don't really pull the trigger super often, but now it's the opposite.
Hold that thought for now. Cake comes in from you. They get Sasa. He needs to get out. Valenz won't be able to momentarily stop Moon for the combo. Sasa will be able to lift this, but Todak, they are still going to try and salvage the situation. Purple buff in contention. Looks like Todak, they don't really want to risk it, but they are there to apply pressure. However, upside, Yumes is waiting for this fight. Valenz makes the attempt. It seems like it is going to get a counter engage with all the pouncing ball. Won't block him out, but Todak, they will settle with Chico guys starting to chip away with the gold plating. But SMG, a little bit late to respond.
They only get the retribution from Subway. They don't exactly get too much of an EXP lead here. Do they affect the side lanes? They got a bit of the shield plating. Overall, Todak are just winning out in terms of what they are getting for their movements in comparison to Team SMG.
Todak knows what their goal is. It's the funnel Chiku guys. He already got played a season with this hero. And if they're able to pick off Sasa, it just creates so much space to get that free gold turret shield. But you see a very different style of things here. Oh, hold on. Too smooth. He gets caught out. He manages to flicker away with the split. And he gets out to safety. That means Todak, they will have a funnel down bottom. They're calling it Subway to provide a little bit of assistance. And he's going to try and trade off as well. Stormie continue with the fight as well. But it looks like they will disengage. But a stolen decimate for Stormie.
Keep that in mind. That means potential chain kills. As Yumes is already in position to get a really good kick, Momo, he might open up the map.
Oh, Yumes, he goes for the kick. He catches Subway. They interject. They dissect him. They take him out. Stormie misses the timing. He stands there, and that's going to be the total stolen in the hands of Todak.
This feels so evil genius of Todak here. They've set Team SMG to decide, okay, we need to stand back, play more passively, wait for our resources, and allow them to engage. But Yume is playing on a different tempo altogether. All the while, Team SMG is looking for the best opportunity to counter-engage on Todak instantly. One-step combo, gets the kick, picks off Subway, and there is nothing Team SMG can do.
Yep, at least Team SMG doesn't have to worry about Yums' kick, especially with long distances, and they can't be caught off guard because his flicker still has 75 more seconds. Now, I think we need to start talking about the win conditions here coming in from Team SMG and Todak. Like Todak, yes, they want a funnel, but approaching fights seems very similar to what we've seen in the previous game between Todak and Homeboys.
Yeah. At the same time now, with SMG, they're grouping up on the top side here. With Rival harassing Smooth all the way through. SMG, they have not made a move yet, and you can see how annoying Rival is. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Subway is still tangling with Momo. And looks like we are going to disengage completely top side. Valenz, he makes an attempt, fails it off, and Yums looking to counter-engage this. Sasa pops in the Nero, but the Wave of Dragon kicks Sasa back to safety, and they have to back out. Smooth now looking to punish Yums, but Yums, look at him, he's got some fancy footwork. He dodges all the clues, and he is going to be A-OK. And SMG now going to have Smooth getting caught out with a feathered airstrike. Smooth needs to back out. Valenz re-engages, picks the Rival apart, and that is going to be a kill in the hands of SMG.
Resource utilization at its finest right there. You see the difference when Todak are the ones trying to force the engagement and using all of their cooldowns. Suddenly, SMG is actually able to counter-engage. We're in a situation now where Team SMG, as long as they play a bit more disciplined, it actually forces Todak to be the ones to engage. And if Yums doesn't get the kick they are looking for, then their positioning becomes more difficult.
Man, that means anybody who makes that first reaction ends up losing overall, right? So if you want to make a play happen, you have to wait for the right conditions. And I think, at least with Todak, they've been maintaining their rotational speed very evenly to SMG. Look at topside.
Oh my goodness, Yums, he's still pressuring the gold lane, and now Yums is gonna get punished for this as well. Valenz pick them apart, but they lose the tier 1 in the hands of Chico. Meanwhile, on the turtle side as well, Rival, they're gonna go out and hold this, and Subway won't steal it away. Rival needs to make a run for it, but the split on Smooth latches on him, and he will slowly chip him apart, and that's gonna be SMG getting a kill. Moon, too late to react with the feather airstrike, cannot do anything at all, and Sasa takes a tier 1 as well on top.
Momentum is just bouncing back and forth this game, and you can tell how evenly matched these teams are. Gideon, what you pointed out is true. Whoever makes the first reaction ends up failing here because both sides are disciplined enough to keep their cooldowns and wait for it. Team SMG has already learned from their mistakes in game number 1 and are now allowing Todak to do the same thing. They don't need to contest some of these fights.
Well, I mean, he's fine. Somebody's fine. Oh, hold on.
Oh, topside Momo, he gets out to safety as well. SMG, it committed everything. Meanwhile, Yums, he's lying on the bush. He's looking for a setup. SMG, they have a rough idea that this is happening, but looks like they will back off. They will respect this for now.
They have to draw the line in the sand here. Todak, they can't just keep disrespecting the space. They have to pose some kind of threat, and it has to be in the form of damage because the
Oh, that thought for now. Rival almost getting caught out in the midst of that commotion, but SMG, it seems like they don't really want to take this fight just because of the fact that Subway is not relatively healthy as well.
What surprises me in this game is that Todak especially is not trying to make a bit more macro pressure across the map. I kind of wonder if drafting like this has put them in a position where they actually have to look for kills, because Team SMG doesn't actually have the strongest split push comp. They actually want to stay together relatively often, and that could be a weakness Todak can leverage.
I mean, that's not the only weakness that they can leverage. I mean, even the same can be said about Todak. The fact that they are funneling Chico guys, they have a really good idea of where Yums is at all times. And I think Todak need to start breaking out of that habit and start changing things up in terms of who they send down.
Well, I think they are actually starting to do that already. You see, Chico guys not really sticking with the team anymore, actually going for that split push, and Todak's goal is to keep vision of Team SMG and force engagement.
Oh my goodness, Yums, he gets the catch, but they don't really have the damage. SMG at the same time goes for Moon. They execute him with both Smooth and Subway, and now Todak, they know that Chico is nowhere to be found. They try to stall SMG with this fight, while Chico is also ratting on the top side, getting the tier 2. A lot of gold in the hands of Chico, while Todak is still stalling for SMG. But SMG will say, we will take the Lord, and that's going to be in their bag. And Todak, they will lose Lord. But Momo, does he want to continue this fight? Seems like it's not going to be the case. But SMG, they'll settle with the Lord.
Nice victory for Team SMG. They're able to get a couple of pickoffs, gets the objective, but this is actually all within Todak's plans. Honestly, this is a very Todak special. Throw bodies, throw objectives to get towers and funnel a specific player. In this case, Chiku guys, they're actually willing to lose Moon, even potentially more, if it means that he's getting space and opening up the map.
You know, we speak about this funnel so very often, but how far is Chiku, guys? He's only 500 ahead, and Team SMG, they want to be able to turn this tide super quick because the goal differential.
Oh rival, he's getting bullied bit by bit, and it finally goes down. SMG chip him apart, but with the Lord knocking on the north side, Todak, they have no choice but to give away mid control. Meanwhile, Smooth is already in position to punish any squishy. In this case, Moon might be the target, but Moon nowhere to be found for now.
I don't think Rival was like thinking he was gonna die there. I didn't think he was gonna die there.
He definitely was not thinking of dying there. That was a bit of a mistake by Todak, but more props to Team SMG as they continue to pressure.
Oh, they are gonna try and force a fight as well. Smooth, he fights Moon, he's gonna try and kill him off. Split comes in, but eventually they get the kill courtesy of Stormie. And now Todak, they are at the back seat. The snipes come in, zones off Chico a little bit, but that's all they can do. But valenz, he re-engages, catches Rival. Rival's dead, and SMG gives them a taste of how Todak Langa feels like from game one.
Does he just not have enough tanky items? Does he not have something to keep him alive?
Oh boy, valenz once again with the catch, and Todak just feels like they're at the loss right now. They can't really do too much about this situation.
Well, that wasn't the story that we were talking about a couple of minutes ago. I feel like Todak was very clearly in the lead, and Team SMG, with that one Lord, man, the advantage swing into their favor.
Yeah, so what happened there for SMG was not them just getting the objective. It is what we talked about in game number one, being able to change their strategy mid-game according to what Todak is doing. They see that Todak, they're starting to throw bodies to expand map control. So Team SMG, once they get that objective, they don't just use it to, oh, we're gonna get 1 or 2 towers, play it safe. They force things, they up the momentum, they don't allow Todak the space they need to split off their members and regain map control elsewhere. They're not giving Todak time to think.
Yes, and wait, hold on.
Oh my goodness, Yomes, they get the cake. They cake on Stormie as well. And now SMG, they have to retaliate. But Chico mans up, tries to do something. They get 2, but Todak, can they do more? Smooth, it's going to be the next focus here from Todak. But Smooth is zoning them all off. But they are going to leave him for the grabs here as Momo continues to bully out both valenz and Sasa. Sasa and valenz still thinking of trying to save Smooth to try and extend the fight. But Todak, they're trying to bait them in this awkward position. Look at Moon. He is still waiting for the right moment to strike. Smooth finally latches onto his rival, but the minions are shoving on the top side. Yomes finally re-engages, misses the kick. He is gonna get picked up by Sasa, but now Moon finally has his feathered airstrike. They've drawn this long enough, and they finally take him out. And now Smooth has to salvage the team here. valenz looking for the kick. Stormie will flicker forward, gets the kill instead. And Rival, he's holding on, but he needs to back out. Chico is nowhere there yet, and Stormie with the decimation gets the kill. And now Momo also gonna get caught up as well. Chico finally shows himself. He demands up. He kills Stormie as well.
Chico demands respect, but Team SMG keeping their eyes on the map. Look at the health of their inhibitors. They just left the minions to do their own thing. They knew they had slow pushes, and now they're engaging.
No. Oh no, Chico, he wins some nature. He kites them all up. He's got the damage. They can't kill him off. And Yomes comes in for the save, but Smooth, he's not going to take the risk. They will back out. They will back out for now.
What a long series of events right here, but the Lord still being contested, and Todak is not doing housekeeping. They've already lost an inhib from this.
Okay. Very good, very good. The Lord is going to be in the hands of SMG, but Todak, seems like once again, they have to find an opportunity, I guess.
Imagine this. 2 Lords is all Team SMG needs to get a secured lead, but they basically get a free inhibitor down on the bot side, all because of the housekeeping done. Team SMG literally did their chores, and unfortunately Todak were a little slow on the draw.
It feels very weird. You would think Todak would be able to pay attention to the map more. It seems very obvious that, yes, at first, they did a really good job by catching Team SMG off guard, but then SMG are delaying the fight way longer than they need to, and that should be the first hint for Todak. Something's off here. You just look at the minimap, you tell, oh, the minions are pushing, they're trying to stop us from backing off, but when Todak responds, they're actually rejoining the fight instead of dealing with the minion wave.
I totally agree with you. Like, it looks very uncomfortable for Team SMG to be throwing their bodies in the middle of that fight, and then once Todak recognizes that the inhibitor's in trouble, that's when you see Team SMG really up the ante.
Now, with the minions already knocking in, the Lord also going to be crashing as well. Subway trying to make space inside and isolate Todak. Todak on the defense, tries to catch us move. Look at this, the damage from Chico is starting to scare off SMG, and guess what? They actually sound the horn of retreat and they are going to back out. Todak, they successfully defend against this.
Todak needs to adjust in this situation. Their draft not quite working the way they wanted, and Team SMG now having full map control can actually force 5v5 team fights, which their lineup will be better at as compared to Todak. So without this map control, and without the ability to throw bodies to funnel Chiku guys, Todak have been put in a very tight spot, but one they can still escape from with wise movement.
Yumes tries to set up for the kick, unfortunately does not happen as well, and this is something that Yumes has been known for, and guess what? SMG, they anticipated this.
Well, how long can they anticipate this for? I mean, the fact is Team SMG is trying to make sure that Todak recognizes and forces them to respect the space. They punish them more times than Todak actually would like to be in, considering their current game state. 2 inhibitors down, mid inhibitor most importantly, already gone. No access to the jungle, and you can see that Todak, they're slowly approaching the jungle by checking each and every brush because there is no place that is safe.
And Team SMG will constantly threaten them, and we can see in the items here, Chiku guys, he's oh, hold on, I can't even talk about that.
Oh my goodness, Yumes, he gets bursted down by Sasa with 3 hits. Just like that, he's down, and now Rival, he's gonna get latched on by Smooth as well. He's holding on to the split, he's looking to pull him back, but Momo, from the back lines, he kills off Sasa, and now SMG, they're stranded in the hands of Todak while they get picked apart by Chiku, and Chiku, he will settle with Smooth as well, and that's gonna be 2-for-1 trade-off in the Todak's favor.
Well worth it for Todak. They get the 2 kills that they want to. Most importantly, they kill Sasa before he can actually get any relevant damage down.
A really smart play from Todak there. They're not good at direct 5v5 engage.
Oh no! Valenz, how? Why? Chiku, he's walking the wrong side, but the Winds of Nature, he flickers out! He survives in SMG! They needed that kill before the Lord fight. They needed it, but oh, you hate to see moments like this. But can they continue to do so? But Todak making work on the Lord as well. SMG, they're looking to try and 3v5 this. The Phantom Airstrike already stoning out Stormie, and now Subway, he has the immortality. They need to find a catch. Valenz is gonna stop on 2, but where's the follow-up? Stormie getting bullied out by Momo, but Subway, he steals the Lord, and now he is gonna die. The immortality second life is there, but still dies in the hands of Todak.
I call that worth, honestly.
I thought it was going to be worth 2, I'm not going to lie. But in the end, it's going to be Todak who comes out on top, despite not having the Lord. Valenz is charging up, but unless Chiku guys is there, I don't see it happening.
Oh boy, it's gonna be tough now. Valenz, near-death experience. He needs to run. Immortality's here. Phantom Airstrike tips him away. He has the immortality, but he needs to get out. Momo goes in for the die. The Tyrant's Ring used to save his life, and he gets out for now. But Smooth, can he get more? Yumes is there. This is a Cho we're talking about. He's got the mobility, but SMG cannot salvage this once again. But once again, we are back into this stalemate between both Todak and SMG.
I'd say in the end, that's still very worth for Team SMG though. Yes, losing Stormie, losing Subway, not ideal, but they trade for the Lord, and because Todak are spending so long escorting the Lord and prolonging the fight, you see the minions do some actual damage to the crystal, and it's still doing it. Todak is not doing a very good job of housekeeping in this situation, even though they have a lineup that should be able to split up the map.
I mean, I don't think they want to really split up the map, but Moon going with his classic lane brush ambush. He's hoping that somebody walks up. Now, the person who calls out these lane brush ambushes usually is Valenz. During his time with Orange Esports, they were able to take a game off with Todak in this exact same position, knowing how Moon kind of looks at the game.
It's weird, but Yumes now, he's gonna get caught out, but Yumes, he shouldn't pulls the Tyrant's Rage, and now Todak, they know they've got no resources. Momo gonna try and force the fight, but Moon, from the flank on the bottom side, he fights Stormie, he kills him off, and now SMG, they're scrambling, they need to regroup, but Smooth, he cannot do so. so. Double kill for Moon and Todak. They hit him where he strikes. Just like that, they get to.
Here's the map splitting we were talking about. The ambush from Moon finally coming into fruition here, and now Team SMG 3v5.
Oh, Momo diving the back lines. He's gonna zone off. Sasa picks him up a little bit here, but he will get out with one chunk of HP. And SMG now putting the back seats and the back itself, losing an inhibitor on their favor of Todak.
Now we're going and approaching that 20-minute mark. Both teams at maximum build, maximum items as well. It's all about having enough gold to start swapping this util out.
Team SMG needs to be very wary of the movements across the map now. Now that they know that Moon is willing to wait in their jungle alone for that long just to get an ambush, they have to be aware that nowhere on the map is truly safe and requires really good scouting. But that's exactly what Todak is looking for. The slower Team SMG is able to engage and spread their influence across the map, the more control that they get.
That's whether they get that control, because the fact is Todak has just been denying information from Team SMG. They're making sure that Chiku Guys doesn't reveal himself until Momo is able to bait. Moon at the same time, I don't think he's going to get the exact same flank again. So Team SMG, look at the way that they're moving around, right? They're just checking the brushes, making sure that they find the right opportunities to not let Moon through the defense.
A very early split coming in from Smooth, very low as well. He still has the immortality, but they need to get the reset. On the contrary, Moon also getting zoned out by Sasa, but it is going to be the dance around the Lord Pit for now. Rival still chipping away. They need to find the biggest pick here. And SMG using a little bit too much utilities. They are going to be at this stalemate for now. Lord still in the hands of Todak, while SMG is still waiting for the right moment to punish this. Minions still haven't been shoved yet. Housekeeping needs to be done from both sides, but eventually they are in this all-out brawl, waiting for the fight here. Chico, he finds it. Stormie actually paying the price here. Finally, one mistake is all Todak needs, and they will try and capitalize on this move now. Force the flicker out. They lose Stormie in this entire scuffle.
One mistake is correct there. Both teams had really disciplined movements that entire time, but Stormie extended way too far. That was not a calculated movement, and Todak instantly took full advantage of it. You could tell that even Valenz was holding back on using his ult.
Oh
boy,
boy,
they get one in exchange.
Oh boy, Subway, he got the kill now with the Lord down towards the final two for SMG. They're going for the all-out brawl here. Sasa, he needs to make a play. He's zoning out Momo, but down towards the final bar here. Subway is getting kicked by Yuz, but he misses the kill. It's gonna be Yuz that steals the Lord, and now SMG, they are gonna try to force the kills here. While Toda, they will get out here. Now with no Moon, with no Momo, 4v3. SMG, do they want to continue?
I think they want to slow down for a second here, just a quick second, because they know they've got two pushing waves. They know that they have Lord already in the bag, and once it starts walking on out, Team SMG might be able to look to close things out. I mean, high ground defense is looking more in favor for Todak, and in terms of items, nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, both teams gonna be hitting their full build very soon, with the Trunkian already on both Stormie and Moon, as well as Wind of Nature for the respective marksmen. Both teams have to be very cautious about how they engage right now. There is enough damage on both sides to instantly execute any of the squishier members, and without either of their sources of DPS, that is an instant loss fight for SMG or Todak.
How long can they maintain this, right? That's the real question. If they can maintain this for at least another, minute or so, they might find an opportunity. Because Team SMG, right, with only one missing inhibitor, that's the one wave that they have to manage. The opposite side of the map can be set up to be frozen, can be set up to be slow push. Todak don't have that kind of control.
It's crazy considering how Todak is just playing at a stage where they're only finding the necessary kills. That one mistake is all they need. But the problem is, the SMG, they're now at a stage where they cannot afford to make mistakes considering it's 23 minutes of the game. And look at this, Yums is gonna try and go for the setup once again. Valenz tries to capitalize on the mistake, but Yums, he's just mechanically better than him as of now. It's crazy.
That Shunpo timing is honestly ridiculous. Yums is a master of this hero overall. Team SMG looking for the counter engage, but not going to find it. There's definitely a lot of wariness on both teams, especially with the Lord coming up in another 60 seconds. And 24 minutes in, death timers are going to be very long at this stage. They cannot afford to lose anyone, especially the more important members, which are the DPS here, which means that Stormie needs to take a bit more of a backseat.
I don't know. I feel like he needs to, as much as I would like to believe that he needs to dodge away from Moon's feathered airstrike, I feel like it's up to the rest of the team, like specifically Subway, Stormie, and Smooth. They should also be looking out for Moon. As much damage as Chiku Guys does, if they don't burst anybody down, Team SMG is just going to let this game slip between their fingers like in game number 1.
Well, ideally it doesn't come to that. For now, we're gonna enter a bit of a quiet phase until the Lord comes up, and that's another 20 seconds in. Subway may become the target here, but I'm pretty sure he's fine. Instead, it's Yums who might be in danger.
Oh no, Valenz tries to go in for the catch, but misses the timing again. Yums just so good on this show, but with 5 seconds left, do they have what it takes, considering that Valenz doesn't have his Tyrant's reach yet for this Lord fight?
Oh, that's a good point. Without Tyrant's range, it can get a little difficult here. I would like to believe that there is a possible solution rather than just like, oh, whoever makes that first move is going to lose, right? I think that it has to come down to the outplay from Momo. If he can bait out Sasa to get that Winds of Nature out, at least there'll be a secondary target for Moon, but I think Moon is still out to get Stormie.
Oh, this is going to be a tough time here. Yums, he doesn't have those flickers. He's only got about 80 seconds. It seems like they are going to try and wrap around this here. Pay attention to the minimap. You see both Yums and Chico all the way on towards Team SMG's purple buff, while the Lord is down towards half HP. Todak, they are still going to kite for time once again. But look at this. The concealed plays get scouted by Sasa. He's looking to try and catch Stormie, but they missed their opportunity. But Valenz, he got the Tyrant's Rage. He tries to clap them back, but no, he won't get chipped away by Chico as he bursts them down. Killing spree for Chico. Smooth now, going to be the next point of target. He flickers out of there, and Todak resets the Lord, but they are going to settle with heroes. Subway, what are you doing? You're all by yourself. You're so low. Smooth finally goes down. That's the first one, but that's going to be the second time, and that is Todak on a mega kill for Chico Guys.
No mistakes here made by Team SMG, a really good initiation, but we are now running into a problem for Sasa. There's too many antique cuirasses in the hands of Todak. They are too tanky. Team SMG doesn't have enough damage as compared to Chiku Guys, who can just rely on the true damage from Carry's passive. So Team SMG needs a perfect engage to get rid of this hero, otherwise Todak just easily wins fights.
Or it just won't be enough, right? I mean, so far Valenz has not been able to hit his ultimate on multiple targets. He hasn't even been getting clean engages onto the side of Todak at the same time as well. Every single target has a means of escape or anti-CC to kind of just tank through the damage.
Oh, with the Lord coming in as well, they are going to be pushing here. He's going to be late, but Yums, he gets the kick again. Stormie, oh my goodness, he cannot play this game at all. And now Todak, they are going to try and crash onto the base of SMG. They are going to try and force game tree into their favor, but Stormie 60 seconds on the sidelines. The Lord also closing in for the bottom side. This might be over.
2 inhibitors down. As you mentioned, Stormie still 50 seconds off. No inhibitors left for Team SMG. They have to mount a huge defense.
Oh my goodness, Subway, he's trying his best as well. Sasa drops all the ulti. The defended airstrike will chip away Subway. He needs to get out. That's the first immortality. They lose Smooth, but at the same time, the crystals are exposed. And Todak takes the crystal 2-0 in this grand finals for MPL MY Season 11.
Nope. They have won a hard, well, honestly, I wouldn't even say a hard-fought victory. This one was looking much, much cleaner for the side of Todak. It did take a little bit longer. There was more adaptation, like you mentioned, Spalpa, which was the key for this game number 2.
This was a true clash of wills and strategies here, deserving of being called a grand finals game. Adaptations multiple times from both teams, neither side giving an inch and making really smart plays across the map, but in the end it did come down to semantics. They did not scale up well enough to fight against Todak in the late game.
Yeah, and that's a compositional difference. They're going to have to relook at the draft, but I love the fact that both teams were adjusting to each other and especially identifying patterns that constantly happen again and again. After 2 times, it never happens again.